everyone, so I have been reflecting on this beautiful December day about just how much has changed over the past 6 to 7 months since I started this BookTube channel. Some days I can't believe it's only been 6 or 7 months, and other days I feel like I've been here forever. But anyway, so reflecting on all that's happened in the past 6 or 7 months, I started thinking about how interesting it was that my reading habits have changed so significantly. First, I feel like I've become so much more of a chatty reader, meaning that I'm much more likely to share and talk about what I'm reading than shy away from that question. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what, but I think having this public reading life has helped me put to words how I'm feeling about a book so that I'm not just consuming all of these books and not really thinking about them. Second, I realized pretty quickly into starting this channel a drastic change in how I treat my books. Now, this isn't necessarily a change I'm proud of, it's just kind of how it is. I've become much more protective of my books. In my BookTube newbie tag video and in my 25 bookish facts about me tag, I'm pretty sure in both of those videos I talk about how I pride myself on dog-earing pages and writing in my books and just kind of not caring. I mean, of course, I've always believed that you should take care of your possessions, but I didn't really care about keeping my books in this pristine condition. I have done a complete 180 on this, except if I'm reading a book that's already a little bit worn before it makes its way into my hands, like if I get it at a secondhand bookstore or something, I won't really care so much about writing in it or dog-earing pages. But I have found that since I started my BookTube channel, I'm really careful about just my books in general. I don't love breaking the spine. I don't like writing in them. I've been usually putting sticky notes in there to mark pages that I want to return to, or, you know, little notes here and there, but just never on the book. This is a really weird change for me that I didn't expect. And my theory is that I've been getting a lot of new releases and really, really beautiful books, and I just don't want to mess them up in any way. I don't know if it's a good change or a bad change, but BookTube has really influenced the way I take care of my physical books. Third, I mentioned in my earlier videos that I like to read multiple books at one time, and I'm kind of starting to realize that that's not really the case anymore. My preference now really is to read one book at a time, or 2 at the most, unless I'm buddy reading with someone and I have to read more. I do always have an audiobook going, or try to have an audiobook going while I'm physically reading a different book. So there are multiple storylines kind of going on at the same time, and I don't think that that's why I stopped reading so many books at once. It wasn't like a, oh, the stories are jumbled in my brain kind of thing. I think it was more that I've become more of a goal-oriented reader. And so there's something satisfying about picking up a book and making progress in that book and finishing it earlier on in the month, as opposed to picking up so many books, making progress a little at a time, and then finishing all the books at the end of the month. Fourth, I prioritize reading more, and I don't feel badly about it. This is a huge perk for me. I have this hobby, BookTube, and most people in my life know about it. So, and I don't know, I feel like there's, for some terrible reason, people who like to set aside time to read, you know, in their downtime are considered antisocial or introverted or awkward. And while I'm definitely introverted, I've never understood why staying home and reading a book isn't a valid reason to skip out on another activity. Now, I definitely believe that there needs to be balance. Like, I'm not an escapist reader anyway, so I'm not going to tend to shut myself off from the world and be in isolation when I really need to be around people to read. I'm actually around people a pretty good amount of the time, and I don't know, I feel like since starting this BookTube channel, I've been able to set aside larger chunks of time to read, and just kind of given myself this weird permission to just claim being a reader. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I just feel more settled with the idea of making room for reading and really prioritizing it. Fifth, this isn't really reading related, but I've realized that I can't hold a cup of coffee and have a conversation with someone or a camera without giving people heart attacks. Apparently, I'm a very animated person. I talk with my hands. I've learned that. Will I change that habit? Probably not, but I'm learning about myself. If you've ever watched my videos and you've been traumatized by watching me almost spill a cup of coffee because I'm so excited gushing about a book, I'm sorry. 6th, Aaron and I read more together. That's been a really fun discovery since I started BookTube. I think I'm just so focused on reading now that he's become more focused on reading, and I think some of the books that I'm getting or buying, he's genuinely interested in, so it motivates him to read more. And I just love when we read together, although he's in a little bit of a reading slump right now, but hopefully that'll change because he's starting Hyperion soon. And the 7th change since starting BookTube is that I don't necessarily want all the books all the time. I've just found that I really want more specific books and not just give me any book I've ever heard of. I think in the beginning I really wanted a lot of books and I wanted to film a lot of book hauls. And while I really love book hauls, I think I've just been super overwhelmed lately about the amount of books that I have that I haven't read yet. So while I love receiving books and I've been filming a ton of unboxing videos, I'm probably gonna slow down with that in the new year. At least, I mean, I'm sure I'll have a post-holiday book haul because let's be real, I'm probably gonna be getting books over the holiday season, but I'm gonna try to rein it in. You know, I think there's a book buying ban happening in my future. So those are all the things I can think of on how I've changed as a reader over the past 6 to 7 months since starting BookTube. I'm sure I'll think of some more changes as soon as I edit and post this video, but I just thought it was interesting because what the heck, those are some really big changes. I feel like my reading life is going through a bit of an identity crisis. There are some obvious benefits to BookTube that I've talked about, which is just being more invested in the community, getting to know you guys more and talking to you in the comments and learning from other readers has been such an amazing thing. But for me personally as a reader, it's been so interesting to see kind of how my reading life has changed. And I don't necessarily think it's a good change or a bad change. I think some of them are good and some of them are just different. If you're a booktuber, leave a comment and let me know down below if you've noticed any changes about your reading habits since you've started your channel. Or if you're a book blogger, or you know, if you've just prioritized reading in your life, how has it changed your habits? Thanks for watching and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.